Hi, this is Gary Halverson, K6GLH, and today we're going to pay a visit to Steve Airola, W6RXK, in San Andreas, California. I hope he's expecting us. Okay, well, let's see if we can raise him. Steven!
Oh, good afternoon. I'm Steve. Come on in and I'll show you around. All right, my collection consists of various equipment from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and 2000 also. I was originally licensed in 1970 as a novice and was uninspired to get my general license at that time. I was in high school as a senior. What we're looking at is my original novice station from 1970. I was licensed as WN6QCZ, which was a lot of fun sending in code when you're 17 years old. The original receiver that I used was this one, NC183D. Very nice receiver, coupled with the DX60B. Also, the telegraph key is original from that period that I've used, and I've kept this equipment for all of this time. Moving on is our 75A1 receiver with the matching speaker. Next, we're looking at the original Drake, which was Drake's entry into the single sideband market. It's the Drake 1A. Very nice receiver. I enjoy listening to that. Next to that is the Helicrafters SX100. Very fine receiver and a beautiful receiver to look at. Just fun to enjoy the beauty and the craftsmanship of that period of time. Moving down a little further is the Helicrafters SX42. Again, a nice receiver to listen to. This is my AM position. What we're looking at over here is our cart machine from the 1970s, along with a very nice selection of radio spots and music. Moving over to our right is the Gates Yard mixing console, and been restored and in working condition. If we move up our tower here, we're looking at our receiver, which is the AR88 RCA, and it does have the meter in it. Very nice receiver. I enjoy using that, and functions very, very well. Moving up, we have our Orban Optimod speech processor that I use on AM. And on top of that is our modulation monitor, followed by our speaker for our AM operating position. This is the Gates 250 GY broadcast transmitter. It has been placed on 75 meters and has seen a lot of different formats throughout the years. Came out of the California Central Valley and still working like a workhorse. I enjoy looking at the heavy iron in the bottom. That's why I have left off the shield so we can see what's inside. All right, a little further over is my Collins KWM2 station and setup with the 664 microphone, and puts out a very nice signal, and enjoy operating the older Collins equipment. This is my newest acquisition that I hope to put on AM fairly quickly in the amateur band of 75 meters. Again, this came out of a radio station out of the Central Valley. It has yet to be converted to 75 meters. It runs a pair of 4-400s and modulated by a pair of 4-400s. It's in fairly good condition, but I do have to find a few parts in order to get it back and working. So I'm looking forward to replacing the Gates 250 GY transmitter with this new 20V2, and it's just a beautiful condition and a beautiful piece of craftsmanship and work. So I'm real excited about getting that on the air. Moving on, over next to the 20V2 is also a very nice piece of equipment, the Collins 30K1. And this piece is equipment is very good. It has been modified from the original RF deck, and it runs a 4-125 for the RF portion. It's in very good shape, and it is powered by the Collins 310B exciter unit, and use the D104 microphone with it. And right now it's set up with the NC183. However, this is the rack mount military version of the receiver, along with the matching speaker. Very nice receiver in itself, so I've enjoyed using that. Over here we have our Helicrafters SX25. This was originally my father's receiver that he purchased way back in the 1940s, and it has been in continuous operation ever since. I grew up listening to all kinds of AM broadcast stations on this receiver, and later shortwave and amateur radio transmissions. Underneath is a R12 speaker. It is a reproduction speaker, but a very nice reproduction speaker, and it looks original. Above that is our Helicrafter setup that I use on the AMI net or other single sideband frequencies. Over here we have the Helicrafters 101 receiver, matched with the HT32 transmitter, and of course the matching HT33 linear amplifier. And I use the Electro Voice 664 microphone with this operating position. And what ham station would be complete without some green? This is military equipment from the 60s and 70s. It would have fit in the back of a Jeep at that time. This is the T195 transmitter slash GR19, and receiver is the 392 Collins. Very nice receiver and transmitter. This was my original Hamshack, and the original design I thought was going to be quite large for my needs. Oh, how I was wrong. This is where I started originally with some Drake gear that I acquired from a Silent Key. As you can see, the Drake gear is in the rack in the bottom area, and all of the original Drake gear came from a Silent Key that was fairly close to me, and was able to pick it up fairly reasonably. After the Drake gear, then I acquired the Collins equipment, S-line Collins, along with the 30L1 amplifier and station control. Down below we're looking at the general coverage SP4 receiver, along with operating equipment and power supplies. This is a Swan 500 and little transceiver that's been very nice. This little unit is a world clock by Icon. Very interesting. It must have been given as a promotional item. On our next shelf down, we have a TR7 line of Drake equipment. Again, something to play with. Going down a little further was my first AM operating position as a general, the Viking Valiant transmitter. Works very nicely, and I use that in conjunction with the two SX28 Helicrafter receivers. These were receivers that I was able to rescue out from a barn that was put in storage for at least 20 to 25 years. They were given to me, and I knew that I just did not have the heart to throw them away. So there they sat in the barn until I got my license and was able to rescue them. Looking up a little bit, I do have my light bulb collection, antique light bulb collection that's kind of fun to enjoy. Looking over against our wall, we see my microphone collection, various microphones that one picks up throughout the years. And going down a little further, this was my main single sideband operating and DX position. I have the ICOM 756 Pro 3 and Pro 2. This is the Pro 2 that I'm using right at this time. I'm using a 4-element stepper antenna along with a antenna controller, and to the immediate left of that is my 2-meter radio. Let me just point out that this little collectible box here is my crystal radio. It's a cute little collectible Cristola that was given to me as a present. Finally, we're looking at the Alpha 76A amplifier that I use as my main single sideband DX in operation, and a Johnson Viking 2 transmitter. It all started back in 1939 when my uncle Virgil became interested in ham radio. He had a very close friend, Frank, and both of them as youngsters were interested in amateur radio. They were able to talk Frank's mother into driving them to San Francisco in order for them to take the test. My uncle was licensed as W6RXK, and his best friend was licensed as W6RXU. Fortunately, after my uncle passed, I was able to obtain my uncle's call sign, W6RXK, and I'm proud to use that today. It all started in a barn down at my grandparents' home, and he was interested and set up his amateur radio station in the second floor of an old wooden barn. That served as his ham shack for many years, and he was able to interest my uncle into getting his licensed also. He was also licensed as WB6PMY. My cousin was able to obtain his license once my uncle passed. And we're proud to carry on the tradition of the original licenses that were obtained very, very early. Thank you for coming and visiting my ham shack today. It's really been fun showing you around, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the radios in my collection.
Well, thank you for having us, Steve. I can't tell you how impressed I am at how far you've come in the last couple of years. Your collection has just mushroomed. Anyway, thanks again. 73. Catch you later.